What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and tonight I'm here to talk to you about the newest Ninja Turtles film that came out. This is the animated one, the second animated one that hit theaters, to my knowledge. It's definitely the second one. But this one is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Before I get into this review, I'm going to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I keep wanting to say TikTok, but we are not on TikTok. Repeat, we are not on TikTok, but we are on Twitch. And we also do a little something on AMP, but we ain't really got that set up yet, so I'm not really going to talk much more about it. But just make sure y'all follow us on those aforementioned social media sites. And I know today is October 1st. So next time you see a review here, it'll be all spooky looking in here because BrickWall Horror Month is here. It's knocking at the door. And if you were here last year, you already know that we might have our special guest coming through who's been waiting to come back and talk about some horrific films. And I got a great lineup for y'all. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the channel for that. Best way to be updated and notified is to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and to also subscribe to the channel. That's really the best way to subscribe to the channel. But anyway, without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into this review. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This movie, it came out at the end of August. At the end of August? What was this? When did this come out? This came out August 2nd. So the beginning of August. It came out in August in theaters. This is a Ninja Turtles film that was produced by Seth Rogen and his production company with Evan Goldberg and all that. And the story was by them as well. And it does something with the Ninja Turtles that hasn't really been done before. And it makes them actual teenagers. And by that, I mean, they're voiced by teenagers. They act like teenagers. They are really more teenage than they've ever been in the entire on-screen lifespan of the turtles. They're not just grown men saying, "Oh, cowabunga, dude. Oh, yeah, pizza, dude. Oh, turtles in a half shell, dude." Like, no, these are kids who are using actual, young lingo and, just they sound like kids. They are younger kids who are voicing these characters. They are actual teenagers. Let me put it like that. They are actual teenagers who are voicing these characters. And in the voice cast for these turtles, you have, let me see if I can find them. You already know what I do, my information searches. I don't always have everything ready in hand, but wait, why is the cast not coming up? Oh, here we go. So you have Nicholas Cantu, who, fun fact, used to be the voice of Gumball when it first started. From the Amazing World of Gumball and Cartoon Network. He voices Leonardo. You got Micah Abbey, who voices Donatello. You have Brady Noon, who voices Raphael. And Michelangelo, that voice is Shamon Brown Jr. And these four guys, they put so much into these turtles. You really feel like, these are just teenagers that you see around, that you see hanging out and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a teenager anymore. I'm way past that point. But the way they interact, it even shows on screen. And I think in the behind the scenes, they were saying that they had all four of them and the rest of the cast of the movie record together so they can get that natural feel of it, as opposed to, because usually when they do these animated projects in the voice acting, like because of different schedules and everything, like I could record a part, and if you're my screen partner, or if you're my scene partner rather, you will record your part another day, another time, in another location, and you would just get like the you would get like the direction. You would probably hear my lines. They'll probably play it back to you. Okay, this is how he delivered his lines. So maybe you could go off of them. So you'll be going off of recording of me, but you won't really be going off of my actual energy at the time. And one of the things about voice acting, quick tangent right here, is that it has always kind of been better when the cast can all be together and record, because you get a different energy. Like if I ad-lib something and you feed off of that, and we're improv now we come up with a whole different scene. We come up with something more fun, as opposed to, okay, I hear what he said. Okay, I'm gonna respond like that. Hey, you think maybe he can match me on this too? Maybe we send that to him. And so that's a more difficult process in terms of trying to get things to be and feel as natural as they can feel. And like I said, a lot of the great shows, like Bob's Burgers, for example, they do that. So a lot of their improv comes from, they're sitting there, they're recording their lines together, and they come up with something on the spot, and they do it. They're on the spot. So I like that aspect of this movie because it really does show, and a lot of the dialogue is really snappy. I will be honest, it's not as strong in the comedy department, but we'll touch there a little later. Right now, I do want to tell you guys what this movie is actually about. So this movie, Mutant Mayhem, it follows the Turtles. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. And their newfound friend, April O'Neil, helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate. But they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. That's a very accurate description of what happens. So, like it says, the Turtles, they're out, they grew up in sewers. You get their origin kind of, which ties into Baxter Stockman, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito. I always forget how to say his name. I'm not gonna lie. The guy from Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian. If you guys relate him that way. He plays Baxter Stockman, who has a very small role in this film. He does not turn into the Fly version of himself. Instead, he creates the Fly, who turns into the mutant, who's known as Superfly, who's voiced tremendously well by Ice Cube. And honestly, I love the Superfly character. I do. Introducing in this movie is a little young actor, an up-and-coming actor named Paul Rudd. I don't know if you've heard of him. I only say it like that because they say in the credits of the movie, it says, "in introducing Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko," which I thought was funny because it's like, why are you introducing Paul Rudd? He's been around for years. But anyway, I just think that was like a cool little tongue-in-cheek joke there. But yeah, so he voices Mondo Gecko. You have Rose Byrne, who voices Leatherface. You have John Cena and Seth Rogen, who voice Bebop and Rocksteady. Post Malone voices Ray Fillet. Ray Fillet! That's what he does in the movie. Then you have I forgot who voices Wingnut. And a lot of this voice cast has like really like one or two lines, honestly. Like it's not like they have like a whole bunch to say. Yeah, so but these are the actors that are in them. And then you have Ayo Edebiri, who plays April O'Neil, who has a very different character design. She is a person of color now. She's not as the skinny, tall, super attractive version of her that you would get in other media. Even The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a film that we reviewed here on the channel. Make sure you check that review out. But she's not. Matter of fact, quick sidebar, this is the third Ninja Turtles related project I've reviewed here on this channel. Dedication. That shows how long the Ninja Turtles have really been around, but dedication. Yeah, instead she's more like short, a little chubby. Oh, not say chubby, chunky, a little chunky, short. Not like the super hot girl or nothing like that. But I'll get to how I felt about April O'Neil. There's not appearance based, it's something else, but I'll get to that in a second. And the Maya Rudolph is also in this, playing Cynthia Outram. And the best casting in this movie, honestly and truthfully, has to be, besides Ice Cube and Superfly and the four young teenagers as the Ninja Turtles themselves, the best casting has to be, even above them, really, the best casting has to be Jackie Chan as Master Splinter. Because, oh man, I laughed so hard at the things that Jackie Chan was saying. And he just fits that role so well. Like, it's just such a nice fitting role for him. And so it is nice to hear him you can hear the fun he was having recording this movie. And it was really good. He had some great lines, some great moments in there. It was one part was having the flashback. He was like, "I'm gonna go for the long version." So it went for it. And he was like, "I used to be he's like, I was a little rat, the most handsome rat ever. Look at me. I was so cute." And it was like, he was not. And speaking of cute, and I'm glad that was a great segue. So the character designs in this movie, depending on how you feel, will not be visually appealing to you. Okay. They all look distorted, a little ugly. They don't have all that glitz and glamour that you would usually see in an animated film. I, for one, enjoy that. I feel like, animation is really coming to a point where where people are doing so many different things, and it kind of started with Spider-Verse. I will say it's that Spider-Verse effect where you got different styles of animation, different movements, frame rates, all that good stuff. So why not play with the character designs now? Everything doesn't have to look so great, and everything doesn't have to be so pretty. You can draw things that look, for lack of a better term, hideous. And it's got like a sketchbook style to it. The movie, it's very visually striking. I do enjoy the visuals on here on this movie. So yeah, the visuals are very good for me. I do enjoy the visuals. They do a lot of cool stuff with it. But yeah, so so it's really just the turtles. They're trying to prove themselves, though. They're really just trying to prove themselves. They want to get out the sewer. They want to actually interact with people, but because of the experience they had when they were younger, they were kind of just sheltered off from the humans and stuff like that. So of course they live in the sewer, which is, that's where the turtles live. The Ninja Turtles rather. And so one night they end up saving April O'Neil, and then through that, they figure, hey, if we can do something that, if we can start saving people, save the world, if we can take down these big crime syndicates, then people will love us. We'll be heroes, and people will have no choice but to love us, and we'll be accepted, and we can finally live a normal life above ground. It's a very solid plan. And them fighting the syndicates, the different crime syndicates, leads them to Superfly, who this is their first time seeing other mutants. So it's just like, wow, this is so amazing. But their ideologies are completely different. Where Superfly wants to be a part of the human world by practically eradicating them, the Ninja Turtles want to coexist with them. So that's where their ideologies kind of split. But it's still really good because they do want that sense of longing. Like they see all these other Bebop, Rocksteady, all them, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, like these guys are cool, but we can't stand for what you stand for. So that's the major conflict of the movie. And just seeing how that all plays out is interesting. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but it is fun watching that all play out. One of my favorite sequences is when they're attacking or they're fighting the crime syndicates. They do it in the montage. And the montage plays the song No Diggity. And it's just so cool how they do it. Like, it'll go from showing one turtle fighting and then like kind of change to the other turtle fighting, and and the different environments and everything. Like it's like each turtle kind of takes a lead towards the different syndicates and stuff. It's a very cool scene. Like it's one of my favorite sequences of the movie. I think about it often. Like I think about it very often because it was just so fun to watch, and the song going with it. Because No Diggity is kind of a smooth song. It's like, I like the way you work it, no diggity, gotta back it up. Like it's very smooth, and you see that with all the action going on, it was a really fun sequence. That and this song brought back to my memory, brought a song back on my radar. Now I can't stop hearing it. It's Annie Up, Annie Up, knock that fool, Annie Up, kidnap that fool. And it's one particular sequence that I absolutely love. They played the song during this sequence. They played the song twice in the movie. And the first time they played in the beginning, just kind of like, kind of introducing you to the turtles and everything. But when they play it again, it's I love that scene. That's all I'm gonna say is I love that scene. I feel, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It does something that usually when you have a movie like this, you would have that scene, that particular scene go a certain way, but it went different. The focus was on something different. And I like that because it's like, wow, this would be like the big montage moment, but or like the big, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the big Avengers circle moment, like something like that. But instead, it's not focused on the Avengers; it's focusing on the sidekick. So you'll see it, and I love that scene. I don't know why, I just love it. But yeah, it's really good. This is I do play a lot of hip hop music in here. New York, inspired by a lot of hip hop and stuff like that. And of course, Seth Rogen loves his hip hop music anyway, so he was gonna throw it in there or have it be thrown in there. It's a really good movie. The comedy is not as strong as I would have assumed it would have been, but it still is very solid comedy. There still are some really good one-liners, some really good comedic moments in there. The action, it could have been a little stronger. It's not as strong, but it's still good. It's still fun to watch. The story overall is good. Everything that happens in the movie, I did enjoy it. You know, they do something with the turtles though that I do like. By the end of the movie, they do something very different, like unprecedented to me, at least. I don't know if they've ever done this. I'm positive they haven't done this with the turtles in any other iteration, and it's very, very cool what they do. I love the approach that they took, but it also it's kind of like it's a double-edged sword, because at the same time they do that, it's like they also kind of like, I would like to see where they go with this. And I say that because they are actually going somewhere with this. I know next year they're going to have a TV series on Paramount Plus based on the movie with the all the cast. I think is going to be coming back for the show, and then they're going to do another movie. So I would like to see what they, because a lot of the major characters, like the, well, not a lot, some of the major characters end up in places that are not traditional for them as the Ninja Turtle characters, Rose Gallery and stuff like that. Like their Rose Gallery is about to be completely different and stripped of certain characters, unless they do, you know, some retconning and stuff like that. But I kind of want to see, as long as the retcon is as natural as I think it can be, because there's a way you can pull it off and it work. But at the same time, it's like, you can just not do that. But I don't know. We'll see. It's a very exciting place where they leave the Ninja Turtles off. And it surprised the hell out of me, because I was like, and it goes really, it really goes over the line. So I really did enjoy that. Other things about the movie, like, I don't know, it's just, it was fun. I want to talk about April O'Neil real quick though, before I wrap this up. So I didn't have a problem with the character design for April O'Neil. Let me say it like that. I like that they picked something different, something that's a little bit more realistic to our, because somebody like that, and I'm not trying to be like offensive or anything, but somebody with that design, with the character design, the look of April O'Neil would be someone that runs upon and comes across the turtles like that, especially the way that she came across them. That's a realistic depiction of someone who would come across the Ninja Turtles as such, and have the problems that she had as she did, because, you know, she was bullied in school and stuff like that. And again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but I'm saying, like, this portrayal of April O'Neil, the way they have her character design fits the way that the character is as a whole in the movie. My problem with April O'Neil is that I find her very annoying. Like, just as a character, she's annoying as shit. She's really like selfish. She's really like sneaky. I don't think she should really be friends with the turtles, because like she really was only helping them for her own gain. And it's like a lot of stuff she did was for her own gain. And it's just like, you the type that, like, you just kind of like, you there, you cool with them, but it's like, if I don't know, it's just something I didn't like her. I don't like her. For lack of better term, and just to shorten it down and not keep us all here in this review forever, I just want to say, I just feel like she's shady. Like, I don't like her. I just don't like her. Just as a person, as a character. This has nothing to do with her design, nothing to do with her, because, you know, this isn't the first time she's been race swapped. She was black in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon that came on Nickelodeon. Now I also reviewed the movie for on Netflix. Make sure y'all check out that review. And I know that there's debate of sorts of her actually being originally being an African American character. I don't really care about all that. I'm just talking about this here depiction. I have no problem with her appearance or her character design, whatever the case may be. I just don't like her as a character. Her qualities, I just don't like her. She seems very shady, and I think she's the wrong person to be caught up with the turtles. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about that. But outside of that, this movie's mad solid. Like, I really did enjoy it. I had a great time watching it. I did see this in the theaters on National Cinema Day, and I actually meant to review it back then, but I missed some of it. So I was like, well, I want to make sure I get the full picture before I review it, because it was actually a really solid film. It's now available on Paramount Plus though. So if you have Paramount Plus, you can stream this movie there. Yeah, it's great though. On Rotten Tomatoes, this has a 96%. That's the critical rating, and a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It is the fourth most popular searched movie on Amazon Prime. Just in case you guys want to know. But in terms of my rating for this, I give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I did enjoy this movie. I had fun. It does have its flaws. Sometimes sometimes the jokes aren't really as heavy hitting. It's not as funny as I would have hoped for it to be, and it's not as action. Like the action doesn't hit as hard as I personally would have liked. And April O'Neil, I don't necessarily like her as a character, just like her demeanor, her persona, her personality. I'm not a fan of it. But other than that, everything else in the movie was solid. Like they were like the turtles interacting was the best part. And I love that the voice cast is just they fit so well together and they go off each other so good. So I did enjoy that. So like I said, my 4-star rating is really just for the things I said I didn't like. But other than that, this was a solid film. So I do recommend it, especially if you're a Ninja Turtle fan. I recommend it just so you can see the changes that they make. I think they're very interesting, and I would like to see. And that kind of is what kind of puts me on the 4 scale too, or excuse me, kind of takes away from the score too, because I'm just like, some of the changes, it just makes it hard for me to see where it can go. But that's the exciting part about it, because you don't want. I feel like with this universe that they're building out with the Turtles right now, they don't want to be predictable. Like, oh, this character is going to be doing this, or oh, this character is going to do that. I think they want to mix it up, which I'm fine. I fuck with the mix up. Mix it up, please. So, and I think that's the way to keep the Turtles fresh. I mean, the Turtles have been around for years. Since their inception, they've been around. They've been a part of pop culture. Sometimes you have to change to continue to stay relevant, continue to stay in a certain position. You got to change things up, give people something new so that the next generations can keep building and taking and making this thing, because the Turtles are not going anywhere. Okay, so that's that. But like I said, 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed this movie. Make sure you check it out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, now streaming on Paramount Plus, still playing in theaters. And keep an eye out for the continuous Ninja Turtle projects that will be on Paramount Plus and on your small screens in the near future to come. So, but that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this review. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you saw this movie, if you agree, if you don't agree, whatever the case may be. If you just want to talk your talk, let me know. I'll interact with you. Follow us on social media. Next time you see me, it'll be a little spooky in here. So get ready. BrickWall Horror. I got a cool lineup for y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I'm gonna enjoy it. And but that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Until next time, be easy, stay breezy. Peace.